Click on it so that you can be.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's 5:30. I'm sure I'm going to get everybody coming in very soon. Yeah. Yes. Let's wait for people to come in. It's good to start on time. Okay.
Why don't you increase it?
Oh, Wendy is here already. This is great. Hi, Wendy. Lovely to see you here. That's great. I'm just waiting to see if more people can come. Oh, thanks. Wow. Oh, Rosalie is here too as well. Thank you. Fantastic. Wow. Letitia, thank you. Welcome. This is great. God bless you guys. Wow. Let's see. Oh, Joanna is here too. Welcome. Wow. I'm very excited. It's just 5:27 and I still have people coming in. That's lovely. Very encouraging. Really very encouraging. This is great. Oh, thanks.
Okay, look at it.
Oh, that's Tish. Okay. That one is so big. Oops.
If you can.
Oh, Wendy, yeah, I can see you. Oh, wow. There are lots of us. Oh, wow. This is great. You know what? I like to start.
It's dark now.
Can you all see me very clearly? Is it light? Yeah? I hope you can all see me very clearly and it's bright and it's not dark. That's lovely. Okay, let's make a start. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for sparing time to be here today. I welcome you all to my book launch event. And I know that not everybody is going to be here at this time because of their different commitments at this time of the day. But luckily, there's going to be a kind of a link to a video recording which will appear on YouTube so that anybody who is not here today will be able to eventually access will be able to access the link and then watch what's going to happen here today. Okay. Um, it will mean so much to me if you can spread the word round. But for now, I'm going to introduce myself. Some people know me as Sophia. Some people know me as Shola. Some people know me as Olusola. But you can see me live. I am Olusola Sophia Anyanwu. And by God's grace, I'm an author. And today, I'm going to be launching two of the books that I've written, Their Journey on Earth to Heaven and The Confession. But before I introduce or say anything about them, like I said, I would like to talk about myself, my career, my writing career, what led me to write the books, and things like that, so that everybody can have a very good idea about me. Um, I'm a trained teacher in English, overseas trained in Nigeria, of course. And then I relocated, to the UK in 2003. And my writing career started way back in, in university, 1978. That far, yeah. I started with poetry writing, and then I started writing stories about life on the campus, and then it just kicked up from there, really. And that has been kind of going on, And I love pets. Some of the stories I write reflect my love for animals, especially dogs, cats, and monkeys. So I do love pets. I do love playing board games. I love playing chess, Ludo, all the board games. I just love playing games. And I like to find fun in life. I love people. I love children. I love everybody. I'm a Christian and I love God very much. It's been very good to me. Okay, what else can I say about myself? Of course, I forgot my love for reading and writing. I have many books of my friends waiting for me to read and review. I'm reading Marissa's own Wall City now, and there are others waiting. I love reading and I love writing as well. Yes, I can see somebody, Marissa, saying, "Oh, I look so young." And, if I was back in uni in 1979, it's called camera trick, but let's be fair to God. It was God. It's all God's doing. I'm wonderfully and marvelously made, as God says. That's great. That's great. I'm going to run down the agenda, the program, what we have for today. I have welcomed you all. For those of you who are just coming in, I can see Deji, Adebayo, I can see Stephen, I can see loads of you. I can see Margaret Scare, I can see Dawn, I can see loads of you. I've done the welcoming, but you are all welcome again. I just want to say God bless you for spending time to be here. At this time of the day, some of you might want to have just come back from work. You might want to just rest and have but this kind of thing shows the love of Christ. When we come out and we support one another, we are there for one another, I think God in heaven is glorified. So thank you again, everybody, for coming. Oh, Sophie Noville has just has just arrived. Thank you, everybody. That's great. Later, I'll just read out the program we have for today. I've just welcomed everybody. I've already introduced myself. And the next on the agenda is to introduce their journey. And after I have introduced their journey, what prompted the writing, just talking about it, the next thing we are going to do, a very handsome gentleman called Emmanuel is going to read reviews from Amazon reviews from the book, about the book. And after he has read his reviews, I will read the introduction from the book, from their journey on earth to heaven. After that, I will entertain questions. Alison, welcome. I've just seen your name pop out there. So there'll be questions so far. After, because you have listened to the introduction, you'd have listened to other things, you'd have listened to the reviews. There'll be questions after that. After the question time on the book, I will introduce the confession, the second book to be launched today. That's a very interesting book. It's a novella, actually, and it was written in, quite a while ago, probably 2003 or 4. Can't remember now. But after that, after I've introduced the confession, Emmanuel will read again raving reviews about that from Amazon. And then we'll take some more questions. And then after that, I'll call a very lovely, Auntie Duge. Oh, God bless you, ma. Thank you for coming. I can see you there. Bakis, welcome. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you so much. And then after Emmanuel has read some beautiful reviews, Amazon reviews about the confession, we'll take some more questions, because the idea is for people to read these things, and the books they center on the themes of restitution, confession, loyalty, adultery, sex, love, all the interesting things that go on with relationships, both in marriage and relationships in general, in-laws and all that. So we'll be taking questions after the review reading by Emmanuel. After that, a very pretty young lady, unattached yet, Titi, will come and read out and give you information about the links, where you can get these books and where you can buy them. Like I said at the beginning, it would mean a world to me if I have volunteers who are happy to buy the books and review them. But let's have a go on what we have on the agenda. So now I'm going to introduce their journey. Hi, Ruth. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Okay. That's the first book. My daughter will be telling you more about them. I think you can see them. I don't know how clearly you can see them. This one, this big one here in my hand, was the one that I wrote in, it was published in 2018 by Author House. And it's, and I redid it again by myself. I got it republished with Amazon KDP, So my daughter will introduce them later in terms of their links and, where you can get them. Now, I would like to introduce their journey on earth to heaven. As you can see, that's the picture all of you have seen on your invitation. And this book, like I said, is just about a woman working to forgive what she can't forget. And it involves her stepchildren, in-laws, family, extended family, the kind of thing we have everywhere, not just Africa, everywhere. We all have our, we have the family, we have the extended family, and we have different kinds of families, our parents-in-law, our stepkids, our, and all the rest. But how does God want us all to relate? How do Christians, we call ourselves Christians, some people are Christians, how do we relate with these beautiful people God has given us? Our stepchildren, our children, our siblings, our spouses, our in-laws, our extended members of the extended family. How do we relate with them? Do we cling to some and leave out some? And if you are married, what's your sex life like? How do you respond to love? How do you respond to conflicts? When do you remember God and when do you forget God? It really covers a lot. And the key thing about this book is that it covers, when you hear the reviews, you'll be very surprised where the story starts from. Some people like Ante Dude and maybe my siblings may have an idea what was working at the back of my head when I had this book written, because they'll be familiar with some of the things that I have written there. I'm going to later on, not at this stage, after the gentleman has read the review on this book, I will read out a page I think might interest you. So what's going to happen now? I will leave you to find out what happens when God is invited in any circumstance which this book deals with. But at this stage, I'm going to pass on to Emmanuel. As I told you, a very young, will read now and read reviews. Thank you. Oops.
Hello. Welcome once again to everybody who has been able to join us on this book launch. And congrats to Shola for a fantastic work. We are all very proud of her achievements. I'm going to read now some of the reviews written by people who have read the book, and you can find these reviews on Amazon. The first one is from RGC. She gave the book 5 stars and titled her review, The Story of a Marriage. This novel took me to times and places that were unfamiliar and fascinating, beginning in the 1950s and ending in the 21st century, and set chiefly in Nigeria. As well as being an intriguing story couched in a unique style, it opened my eyes to a very different culture and mindset by Angie. The other one is from Stella. She also awarded the book 5 stars, titled it A Must Read. I always enjoy a good novel, and this book is simply a must read. The story weaves through the life of the couple, through their life struggles, overcoming challenges, and most importantly, their unwavering trust in God in every aspect of their lives. The book is very well written, great plot, and wow, once you start, absolutely hard to drop. What's an interesting, review. And the third one, we have just selected just 3 out of the many reviews on the book. This one was written by Sharon from US, Atlanta. And she titled it, Nollywood, Here We Come. Do not be fooled by the title of this tantalizing narrative, which the author has weaved into a super storytelling. This book is a classic traditional love story set in Nigeria, yet the author demonstrates true skillfulness of the style and technique, akin to the likes of Ernest Hemingway and Mark Twain. The story is engaging and colorful, even while peppered with religiosity, a creative piece of work about 2 high achievers with humble beginnings who demonstrated a dedicated sense of responsibility towards their families. Fate brings them together to start their own lives under a charade, yet they managed to leave behind an impressive legacy, thus giving credence to the saying, it is not how we care in the beginning, but how much we care till the very end. The book is choked full of love, respect, forgiveness, sacrifice, family values, some romance, and a little bit of the mundane. It is simple to read. One of the great books I have read in a while because of its interesting subject matter and storytelling that is as entertaining as a Nollywood movie. Oh, how interesting. So that's all for now. I will come back to you when she introduces the second book. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is Emmanuel, handsome young man with a lovely, fantastic voice. Thank you so much. Let me welcome some people that have come in whilst the reading was going on. Uncle Bulex, well done. I can see my lovely Miss Damilola, well done. Oh, Maureen is there, well done. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you all. Let me see if I can see some more. Yes. Oh, thank you for coming. This is great. Welcome. Okay. Um, Deji, thank you. That's it. Well done. Okay. Whilst we, yes, I was welcoming people. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to read the introduction of their journey. That is the book where Emmanuel has just read those raving reviews. So I shall read the introduction, and I'm going to read a selected page that might fire your imagination as well. But let's read it. Let me read the introduction to you from the book. Introduction. Their journey unfolds the story of Alade and Bridget having secrets before they get into the agreement of marriage. Their wedding night is their one chance to get these secrets out of their chests. Bridget advises that each of them should confess their secrets not mentioned during their courtship. Just like the biblical story of how the serpent fooled Eve in the Garden of Eden with an apple, Bridget is fooled to say her own secrets without Alade saying his. Their journey depicts the consequences of those secrets that Alade withheld initially from Bridget. Bridget subconsciously is never aware that her ultimate trust for her husband was shattered into splinters on their nuptial night. The subsequent decisions she takes in their marriage are underpinned by her subconscious knowledge of her husband. He cannot be trusted. He is a manipulator. He is a cheat and sly. Alade is now a new man in Christ and full of love for his young wife. Will he be able to rectify the damage of his past? Is Bridget going to be accommodating? When will she realize that he has let go of his past? Find out. So that's the introduction which I've just read. And the next thing, like I said, we're going to be asking questions later. I've just selected any page in the story. It's a very big book, and it will be very appropriate for them during your holidays, but you will really enjoy it. So I'm going to open page 284, and you can just be amused. It's just an ordinary page in the book. A lot has happened and a lot is yet to happen. I just picked this page. Sule, slow down, slow down. Please park the car and buy that big antelope over there. Also buy some fruits and corn, Alade added. The driver obeyed and the journey back to Ibadan continued. 1.5 hours later, he was home. Gone were the days he thought when the children would run excitedly to meet him. These days, it was the dogs, 4 of them, Kizzy, Lobby, Dicky, and Kinky. From the porch where they lay under the plastic cane chairs, they rushed to greet Alade. They all received a quick pat on their heads while they wagged their tails to his "How are you?" They assumed they were all going to be lucky to get into the house with him. Indeed, they were sometimes lucky. It depended on the mood of the house, though, and the dogs knew what to look out for. If they heard, "Hello, my pet Kiki, Lob Lob, Dicky Special, or Man Kinky," the mood was good, and they would boldly get into the house. Just as Kizzy and her team waited at the porch with Alade, Bridget opened the door from within that led to the porch. Spoiling her face and snorting out loudly, she began to accuse the dogs. Wretched animals, out! What a stench! They have gone to Songo to eat rotten meat. Look at their stomachs. They are never content with what they are given. Umwefwe, she abused in Edo language. Alade too got the mood of the house, and before she greeted him, he tried to pacify her. He could not stand a domestic atmosphere that was bombarded with storm and fury. As he grew older over the years, he had come to adore peace and quiet, and he knew that Bridget knew this. "Mommy, what's the matter this time? Did Lamidi break your special dish?" she asked. He stood on their porch and studied his wife. She didn't look right, the way her eyes were avoiding his. That is what she usually said about his own eyes when, according to her, he was being dodgy. He immediately knew there was an issue. "It is the dogs. They need a bath. Can't you smell them?" "Ekabo," she welcomed him in the Yoruba language. "There's an important file on your desk," she added. "I see," he answered back, but in English. If she wanted to be moody, he was not going to be drawn in. He would settle down and hide away in his study. Then he remembered the purchases and offered another attempt to bring right the house mood, just as he was mounting the stairs. Mommy, I bought your favorite fruits and a big antelope. Sule has carried it to the kitchen. No answer. Yet she was in the living room. The TV was not on. She heard him. Mommy, I am not in the mood, please. Go and look at the car file on your table. Well, I'm going to stop there for now. And I don't know how much of that you got. I don't know. But later, you can always ask questions, concerning issues on relationships and things you think might be in the book and all that. So that was just to kind of whet your appetite. Next, we are going to go into question time now. I have just read the introduction and a page from their journey. So I'm going to entertain questions. So right now, if you have any questions, this is the time to um, type them out so I can see them and I can answer your questions. Do you have any questions at all concerning my career, my life, the books? Though my daughter, oh well, I've already released that. I said a young lady will come out later and talk about where to get the books. So I'm going to leave all that to her. The pricing and the listing and book links, I will leave that to Titi later. But now it's question time. Do we have any questions yet? Anybody? Any questions to ask? If I don't see questions, I'm going to call people. I'm going to call Wendy. I'm going to call Marissa. I'm going to call Ruth. I'm going to I'm going to call you guys. If I can't see questions popping out now. Let's see. I'll check now. Thank you, Rosalie, for the great reviews. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I can see. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your praises of the reviews. Somebody's asking, is that your wedding photo behind you? Or something like that. That's interesting. Thank you for your comments on the reading. Marissa says it sounds intriguing. Thank you so much. Hi, Rebecca George, welcome. Thank you very much. Now, the next thing I want to see is questions. Christiana, anybody with questions? I can see all the lovely comments about your enjoying the reading. Do you have any questions at all? If you don't have any questions, I'm going to go on to the next bits on the agenda. Any questions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No questions? Sure. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody out with questions. Okay, if there are no questions now, there's no problem about that. By the time I have introduced the second book, I'm sure there will be questions. I thought somebody would like to ask the question about what it was. Oh, the questions are there. Oh, sorry, let me see if I can find them. Oh, yes, sorry, I've got one question. Oh, yeah, thanks. All right. Wendy is asking, what made you decide to deal with relationships in your books? Beautiful question. Life is all about relationships. I come from a home where a big family where I saw lots of relationships. My parents, my siblings, my uncles and aunties, in-laws, and you see it everywhere. It's all around you. And I just decided to, you know what, these things, I think God, if God says you are a writer, you are a writer. If God says you're an artist, you're an artist. If God says whatever you are, and maybe at this point in time, it'd be nice to say that one should not give up with whatever talents, passion, and desire that God has laid in your heart. I guess God laid it in my heart to really write this book. And I dedicated it to my parents. So maybe I believe I also had them in mind, you know? Yeah, because relationship is key. God, that is the most important thing why God sent Jesus, because of his love. So I know that these are books that when people read them, it will help them to improve their marriages, relationships, and the kind of things that human beings really find it difficult, you know. So that's a very good question. So that's why I decided to write about it, because I felt that it was something that will help people in their relationships, family wise, marriage wise, or just in general with people. And how much of the book was based on my life? That is what Rosalie is asking. Ah, that's a very tricky question. Ah, since you ask how much, I would say 40%, probably, yes. You know, when writers write, they borrow fingers, faces, stories, you know, they borrow body parts here and there, they borrow from their family, they borrow, you know, a lot of that is there. That's very correct. Well done. Thank you for that. Sharon has asked a question. What was your main inspiration in writing the journey? What really inspired me? I think I wanted my parents to smile from heaven. Where's the, you know, I wanted them to smile because they're not here to read the book today, but I wanted them to smile. So that was my main inspiration. Yeah, for them to smile from heaven, you know, and see what could have been and what might have been, you know, that kind of thing. That's a very good question. Let me see if there are more questions. I can see there are more questions. Um, yeah, let's see. Okay, Merlin Wright has asked, what is the inspiration behind the book? The inspiration behind the book, like I said, is for my desire for people who are married or people who are in relationships, you know, with the to get to read it and just, you know, sometimes when you read books, it's like you're talking to yourself. The Holy Spirit will just guide you, you know, relationships with in-laws, relationships with your stepchildren, relationships with your siblings, with your children, with your spouse. So that is the main inspiration, that people will read this book and it will really impact on their marriages. It will impact on a better, you know, relationship with people around you, you know, the people that are around you in your life. This will really impact you. Yeah, let me look for more questions. Rosalie wants to know if the book is based on my life in Nigeria. I wouldn't say it's about my life. No, it's not my life in Nigeria, really. No, 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 no. It's not my life. No, it's about a couple and tell it in a different couple. Yeah. Let's see. Let me get more questions and then we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Jonas asked a question. Is this book based on your family? Any characters in real life? I'm a Christian. I need to be honest. The answer is yes. Yes. Very true. But you see, I don't want to be a spoiler. It is best that you read the books because and I've realized that as a writer, when you write about people or things that are true in life, it comes out in the writing. I found this book very easy to write. I really enjoyed writing it. Sometimes I would come down at 2, 3, 4 a.m. and write pages and pages. It's the biggest book I've ever written in my life because it's over 400 pages. So that is very true. It is based on family members and the characters are real. Some are living and some have gone to join our Lord. Yeah, let me see if there are more questions. Rosalie wants to know, what point of view did you choose and why? Yes, I did not. I chose the point of view of the third person from my own point of view, I guess. Yeah, to make it come out livelier, more interesting. That's the point of view I did. How long did it take to write the book? Rosalie wants to know. Believe you me, because it is something that was familiar territory, and because I was really enjoying what I was writing, it took about 4 months. Really about 4 months to write it. I started in some middle of 2017, and by 2018 February, it was published. Yeah, 4 months. Not yet. So next now, Jonah thinks it might have been cathartic too. I'm inspired. I'm happy to hear that some of you are inspired. Thank you very much. I think I'm going to go next to the next book, which is the confession. So the next thing on my agenda, thank you for all your questions and thank you for listening so far. Now I'm going to go into the next agenda, which is to introduce the confession. Whilst the first, their journey centers on a woman, this one is actually a story of a man working to forgive someone he thought impossible. All right, so I'm going to read the introduction. I think some of us, especially if you're a Christian, you might understand that there are certain things, especially our young people growing up in society today, there are certain things that maybe adultery or fornication or those kind of things. And some people might think, oh, that's the end of it, you know. This book touches on things like that. A confession. What happens when you find things don't go as you plan in a relationship? You know, maybe a boyfriend girlfriend relationship or even a husband and wife relationship. What do you do? And we have to remember that we always have to ask the question as Christians, what would Jesus have done? You know, let's see. I'm going to read the introduction of the confession now. And after I have done that, the young handsome man will come again and read reviews, Amazon reviews and Goodreads reviews as well. And then that would be great, you know. So here is the introduction of the confession. And here is the cover this time, the confession. This one was written in 1987. Written in December 1987, yes. But it was published in 2017, that's it, yeah, by Author House. And then in December, some of the miracles of the pandemic, this staying at home, you find yourself getting to all sorts of nice, interesting things. One of it was re-editing my work. You know, as a young writer, when you start off, you might make mistakes, you know. You might make assumptions that, oh, well, you read English, I'm an English teacher, I'm sure I can't make any mistake, my eyes can see it all. But years later, you realize that that's not true at all. So in December 2020, I got these books re-edited and republished again with Amazon KDP. So I'm going to read the story, the introduction of the confession, and you will hear the reviews on this book as well. Okay. What does it say? It says, it's a very short introduction. Yes. Yeah, so meanwhile, whilst I fish out what the introduction is, yeah, as it's okay. Okay, let's go. The Confession is a satire. It is a story of three young married couples from different Christian denominations. There's also a Muslim character as well. They face temptations of the flesh and reap the consequences. Their individual attempts to place their hearts right with God and how they went about it is the central theme of this story. So again, the confession is exactly as you see the word the confession. And I'm going to get Emmanuel to read the reviews, and you might like to ask questions after that. Thank you.
I'm back again to read another set of reviews on the confession this time. And you can find these reviews on Amazon. So the first one is from Kirsty, and she gave the book 5 stars. She says, this book takes the reader on an interesting read that makes you think, opening them to a different culture that is enveloped in a romantic, well-written story. Another one is from L.E., and he awarded the book 5 stars again. He says, a down-to-earth, captivating book that makes for clean and decent reading. Very entertaining. And this review is on Goodreads and it's from Abiola. He awarded the book 5 stars again. He starts, what happens when you confess a secret to a Catholic priest and someone gets to know about it? This story is a thriller full of suspense, tension, and a twist in the tale. A Christian novella that will appeal to anyone who likes romance with a bit of gripping moments and adventure. And the last one is from Kirsty. She writes, excellent read, and I would recommend it to anyone who is a romantic or wanting to explore different cultures. That's all for now. There are so many if you go on Amazon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. What would I have done without you? I thank God. So you just heard the reviews on The Confession, which I wrote in 1987. And what I want to say now is that I'm ready to take questions and comments. And if there's time, we might give you some quiz. And these two books, like I said, they touch on restitution, forgiveness, respect, loyalty, sex, love, children, commitment, relationships. So I'm going to take questions now if there's any. How difficult was it to write a man's story? That's Rosalie asking that question. Thank you, Rosalie Weller. You know what? When I started writing my stories, I'm amazed. It makes me to understand how God can be man, woman. I just understand God the more. It makes me understand drama. When people act plays, you can have a man act the part of a woman or the woman act the part of a man. So when I write when I write about men characters, I'm amazed about how I become like a man, you know? So I'm beginning to wonder, every woman has a man inside them, and every man has a woman inside them. Probably. You never know how God. We are wonderfully and miraculously made. Only God knows how he has made us. But I found it very easy to write. I can write as a child. Right now, I'm writing a memoir, kind of, on my childhood. And I'm so surprised at how I write like a little child, you know. I think it's just God, you know. It gives writers that ability to get into anything. You know how you put liquid into different shapes of containers and it just fits in nicely. So when I write about a man, it's as if I'm a man. If I write about an elderly person, a senior citizen, it's like that. Yeah, thank you for that question. How long does it take you to write one of your books? Wendy Jones wants to know. If I'm enjoying the book very much, you know, this confession might have taken me a week or two. You know, it was quite interesting to write. It depends, you know. There are some topics that take time. There's one that I'm writing now, biblical fiction. I'm trying to look at the life of Jesus Christ that is not written in the Bible. There's something called midrash. It's a Jewish word or Jewish term to refer to what the Jewish call putting flesh on the bones. We do not know how our Lord Jesus Christ, most of his boyhood, we only knew about his ministry when he started at the age of 30 and then he ended up. So what happened between the years 1 to 30? I'm enjoying doing that right now, you know. So that has taken me some time. I think it's taken me almost 5 months and I'm still on it right now. So really it depends on the book. If I'm really enjoying it, oh, it will go down quickly, a week or two. I don't mind waking up very early in the morning to write. But if it's something I think I'm pouring out too much of myself or something I'm not, I don't know. But something moves me to write. And then I write. And so it might take a year, it might take 6 months, it might take 6 weeks, it might take 6 days. It just depends. Thank you for that question. Let's see if I have. Oh, Elizabeth, my sister in law. God bless you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for your lovely comment. You say it's brilliant. Thank you so much. Ruth Lay, my dear friend, wants to know, did ideas come to you in the night or when you were doing other things? How long did it take to get the whole book finished? I think you are very correct, And Ruth, you're a writer like me. I've just read one of your beautiful books. You will agree with me that sometimes an idea comes to you. Sometimes my husband said, "Where are you going to?" I said, an idea has just come. I better go and write now. I'm in the mood. So you're right. Some ideas do come in the night, you know, or very early in the morning, And sometimes I might tell myself, oh, I'm not going to forget. I'm going to write it. I will remember. And believe you me, sometimes it's gone. So when the ideas come, it's good to just write them down. Okay. Rosalie Willie says, God bless you on the new project. It sounds really interesting. Thank you. Thank you. I know you would, I know you're writing something on Lent and all that. Oh, Ruth Lane, so I've just answered. Yes, I've just answered your question. Do you do all the typing yourself or get help? Christiana wants to know. You can be sure that the lady I said, the pretty lady who is going to read, tell you more about where to get the books and the links. She did all the publishing on KDP Amazon for me. Some of us are not techie, you know what I mean. I know we are old school, some of us, but some of this techie stuff can really be, that's one blessing that God has done for me. My daughter, Titi, I told you, helped me to do all the republishing of my 6 books, December 2020. I thank God for that. So that's what happened, Christiana. Thanks for asking. As for typing, oh yes, on the manuscripts, I do it myself. As some, I don't write. I go straight on. And maybe you've heard of the word called a pantry writer. I'm more of a pantry writer. A pantry writer is one that just writes your ideas. You just write as you are led. I don't do a draft. I don't plan. I don't say, oh, I'm going to write 300 pages. I'm going to, no. I just write as I'm led. And that's it. Oh, hello, Sally. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Sally Kinberg. God bless you. Okay. I think I'm going to go on. Yeah, questions. Any more questions? Oh, welcome, Lawrence Okpara. God bless you. That's my lovely in-law. So, you see, this is what we are talking about, relationships. I know how many family members are here this evening, and I'm so blessed. Even some of my children are all here too. I thank God. Thank you, everybody. I hope I've not forgotten anybody out. Please forgive me. God bless you. Now, we've just read the confession, and if you have any questions to ask, like I said, is the story of Christian couples. One of them is a Muslim, and I know we are all Christians. Some of us are Christians, and sometimes people fall. Some people fall down. The Bible says the righteous will fall 7 times and they stand up, and but some people do fall down. What happens when they remain standing? They fall down, they don't get up. Or what happens when they fall down, they quickly get up the first time or the 6th time? Let's see. Um, Sheila wants to know, did I hear you say you wrote it in 1987 and published it last year? Why such a long time between writing and publishing it? Very, very sweet, sweet question. I was in Nigeria. And I want to tell you now that when I was writing, God is amazing. When I was writing all my poems and writing my stories, there was never a time I thought I would publish them. I wanted to, but it just didn't seem, Nigeria, you have to survive first, get what I mean. Many of you who have lived in Nigeria here, I see my brother, Bonaji Supi Adebayo. Welcome, thank you. He's telling me well done. Many of you will understand what I'm talking from. You come from a country where you are struggling with lights, water, salary payments, loads of things. You won't think of publishing. So that's why there's a very long time, because I came into this country in 2002 or 3. I have to settle down, settle with new life, new culture. So I just thank God. So that answers your question, Sheila. Thank you. Rosalie wants to know if I'm able to devote all my time to writing. No way. I still find time to cook. I cooked soup yesterday. I still have time to clean the house and all sorts of things. Mind my grandchildren. They just left this last weekend, It's just God. God gives one the energy and the grace to, do all these things. I just thank God for that. So I think I'm done with questions. I can't see anybody asking questions about the confession. Um, oh, Maya, thank you for coming, sweetie. Maya Fallen is there. God bless you. Thank you. Okay. I think I'm going to, if there are no questions to be asked, I'm going to pass on to the lovely lady Titi. She happens to be my daughter and the baby of the family. Please thank her for me. She made it possible for all these editions of KDP Amazon to be possible. She took her time and she did everything. Now she's going to talk about um, how you, where you can get them the links and the pricing, and she might encourage you and look for volunteers who can, and all that and all that. There's somebody who has just asked 1 or 2 questions. Merlin writes, has just asked, how much time do you spend on research, especially when addressing cultures, as you are Christian writing about Muslim? That's a very interesting question. I grew up most of my life in Ibadan. I schooled in schools where you school with Muslims, so you know a lot about them. I know a lot about Muslim culture. Yeah, you live with them, just like you're in a society, and you can say, what do you know about things like maybe certain foods? It's just like that. I came here to start enjoying things like mash, all those kind of things. So you can talk about these things because I've had the experience. I've really had the experience. And Ruth Lay wants to know if I find it hard to juggle looking after the grandchildren, work, writing. You know what, Ruth? You have just introduced the next set of 2 books I will um, launch. They're about that kind of thing. The next 2 books, by God's grace, I don't know when, but very soon, I will launch them as well. They talk about strong women characters who have to face their jobs as wives and as mothers and as housewives and all that. It's not easy, but like I said, God gives one the grace. I really have to ask. I prayed. Even before my grandchildren came over the last weekend, I had just closed from school. I had to ask God for the grace, for that energy, that strength to be able to look after them properly, give them their attention, even teach them their lessons and all that, you know. So it's all by God's grace. I won't take any boasting. No man should boast himself. The power and grace all from God. I give him the glory. So thank you for that question, Ruth. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hand over to Titi, and she's going to tell you all about where you can get these books and their prices. God bless.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to this book launch. I will now tell you where you can find these amazing books. So I'm Titi, I'm Sophia's daughter. I'm very proud of her. She's an excellent, amazing author, and I know you will all be blessed so much by her books. The first book is The Confession, and you can get it on Amazon, on Sophia's personal website, which is www.olusolasophiaanyanwuauthor.com. You can also get the books in Barnes & Noble, you can get the books on Author House, and you can get the books on Kobo Books. You can also get them online. Just type in The Confession and her full name, and you can get them wherever you see them. So there's a paperback version for £9.99 and a ebook version for $2.99, so extremely affordable and very lovely. The second book, there are 2 versions of the paperback, their journey. So you can also get them the same places you can get The Confession, which is the author's personal website, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo Books, and everywhere online. So we have two paperback versions. This is bigger, more voluminous, and it has bigger prints. And this is smaller, more portable, and it has smaller prints. So if you like big text, get this book, the blue one. And if you like small text, get this one, the red one. And there's an ebook version as well for £2.99. The bigger book is £15 and the smaller version is £9.99. So they're the same book, the same story, just different sizes depending on what you like. And like I said, you can get all the books on author's personal website, which is www.Olusola Sophia Anyanwu author.com, or you can get them on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Author House, online. And like I said, I read the books. I love them very much. They blessed me. So I know that they will bless you too, and you will love them as well. So please feel free to get the books and give encouraging, amazing reviews on how you enjoyed them, how they blessed you, what you liked about them. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the books.
Yes, thank God. Thank you so much. Margaret is asking, can you open the larger textbook to let us see the size of the text, please? Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you for the question. So this is the larger text, if you can see it. It is very easy to read, standard text, and this, to make it more portable, is the smaller book. Also very easy to read text.
Yeah, it's smaller. Okay.
So yeah, the same book, the same story, just different sizes depending on what you like.
Oh, thank you. Rosalie says, what a lovely daughter. And Dawn says, she's a chip of the block, beautiful and confident. Thank you so much. Before I take any further questions, I realize that I haven't read from the confession. Are we all happy to hear any reading from the confession, or do you want us to call it a day? If I can just get, oh, somebody says, yes, thank you. Okay, thank you, Margaret Care. All right. Now, like I said, I'm just going to read a bit, just to fire your imagination, okay? So you can begin to guess what's happening right here when I read. All right. Okay. It was about 11 p.m. Sunday was fast extinguishing from the face of time. Let me see if this is the right page that I want to read. Oh, wrong page. Let me read this one. This one is easier to read. Reading, please. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Everybody's saying yes, yes, yes. This is very encouraging. You know what? You are all my darlings. God bless you so much. Thank you. Let's read it now. On this same day, about 4:30 p.m., the Adejumos were having their siesta. Kind of. Husband and wife were both in the bedroom. Kunle was on the bed glancing through a magazine while Kike was going through a box of some of her clothes she had kept away for some reasons. Kike, Kunle called. Which church were you going to during my absence? He asked in the vernacular. Now, Kunle is the Muslim character in my book here. My own. Why do you ask? Kike replied in the same tongue, and they continued that way as usual. Because you have stopped. You want me to continue? If you like it that way, so long as you will still attend your husband's own. Darling, I have said this thing before, repeatedly. You are a changed man. You have really, really changed. You even promised me 3 weeks ago or so that you would tell me what accounted for this, your change of attitude to life. You haven't told me. Yes, I promise, Kule said, sounding sad. His wife, who noticed the sadness of his tone, came to his bedside and sat by him. Yes, I'm listening. Please tell me, she begged. Do you remember Tunji, my bosom friend? Yes, of course. Anything? He's dead. There was about some 10 seconds pause, during which time Kike kept her mouth opened and her two hands on her head. My husband, are you not telling me the truth? You are not telling me the truth, Kike claimed, still in the vernacular. I am. He was not in good terms with his wife. On 14th October, they had a serious argument which made him drive out of the house in anger, and he met his death in a queer accident. His death set me thinking, why quarrel with a woman you call your wife to the extent that you have to fight, abandon, or even separate totally from her? It is an act of defeat, of failure. After Tunji's burial, I simply resolved to tackle my marital problems like a man and be more cool-headed, so that at least anytime I have to die, it will not be with hatred in my heart that I will leave you. Now you can see why I was not able to attend Junior's party. One has to tread the path of life with wisdom. I now abhor anything that will make me quarrel or fight with a fellow man. I told Allah to help me stand by my resolution of change and to help me tackle my marital problems. And he did. So that is it, Kike. May Tunji's soul rest in peace. Please don't let it disturb you. I know you are fond of him because of his joviality. That is why I could not tell you since all this time. Kike's eyes were red. Tunji, Tunji of just the other day. Life was so uncertain and unpredictable. Death had a way of making those it left behind sober. This is what it did exactly to Kunle Adejumo. I'm going to stop there now. And I really, really, really hope that you have been inspired to actually, I'm looking for volunteers, like my daughter said, who will actually buy these books from Amazon or from my website, preferably, and, be blessed. That's a writer's, it's not actually the material gain or whatever. I think every writer's dream is that whatever God has laid in their hearts and they write, that they blesses others. Their readers are blessed. And that's the purpose of these two books, that relationships will improve, people will understand the love of Christ through these characters. Most of them are model characters. Thank you, Christy Okpara. Thank you for sending your regards. Thank you so much. So I'm going to end now, and maybe I'm going to call Emmanuel to come and just say a blessing over everyone here, because I know that coming out here to grace this occasion is just by the grace of God. Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Thank you, everybody, for honoring this invite. And I'm sure that you have all had a good time. For we have to end now so that other people can go on with their other responsibilities. But let us just thank God, who has seen us through, who has made this day possible. Father, we want to thank you, Lord, for all that you have done, the inspiration you gave your daughter to write, the morals from the stories. And I pray by your grace, it will bless those that will read it. And Lord, may you bless all that have honored her today by coming. May your name be glorified. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen. Amen.
That's it, guys. That's it, guys. I don't know. Thank you so much. I can just, all I can say is thank you so much for taking out time to be here today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, so much. Do you have any other questions? Okay, my daughter has just something to say.
Just a final reminder that both books are available as ebook version and paperback version, and they're all online on my mother's website, Amazon, and everywhere else. Thank you guys so very much.
Okay. Okay. So this is a bye-bye from me. Thank you all again for coming. God bless you. And thanks for coming again. Thank you for a beautiful time with me. God bless. Bye. Okay.